Our Chris Costa has also been very busy with us in the newsroom tonight. He just spoke with a professor from Bates College, which obviously is located in that community of Lewiston, who specializes in mass shootings and studying them. So we want to hear part of that conversation.
Sorry, I was wanting to ask as a human being. That's just
Yeah.
Are you? So do you want to tell me? Were you on campus when any of these events happened?
No, I was off campus when I heard about the first reports that there was an active shooter in the Lewiston area, and have been just monitoring the situation since.
How are you feeling right now?
I am feeling all of the things that people feel when their community has been attacked. I am somewhat in shock, even though we've been saying that these things can happen anywhere, and they often happen in smaller communities. And Maine has just been lucky for the most part to not have an attack like this. Of course, this is an attack on a scale that is shocking by any measure, but also concerned. I'm concerned about all of my students and my friends who work at Bates and in the community, and hoping that they are staying safe and that they are getting what they need. And again, this is unfolding right now. We don't know who the victims are, and so just kind of holding my breath at this point.
Professor, you find yourself in a very probably unique position where a large portion, the majority of your career has been dedicated to researching these exact types of incidents. What are you kind of coming to terms with now in your head, given all of the research you've done about mass shootings and one happening right in your own backyard?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes through your head. Obviously, most people who are following the story have seen the pictures of the suspect with the weapon, and people will draw conclusions about the type of weapon without it being confirmed yet. So I don't want to comment on what type of weapon it was, but it sure looks like some sort of a rifle that can do a lot of damage. And we've done research on the types of guns that wind up causing the most casualties in these types of events. We know that there are certain types of laws that don't necessarily restrict people's freedoms, but also can be helpful in preventing these types of attacks. And so the first, reaction, I think, is frustration, really. Frustration that we've been talking about this. We've been trying to put out information about what we know so far, and we know more and more every day about why these attacks happen, how these attacks happen, and what type of policies are seemingly effective. And it does not seem as if there's any traction to get anything done. The two opposing factions arguing past one another, and we find ourselves in a position where now we're attacked at our own home, and that feels personal. And so there's frustration, there's sadness, a little bit of anger as well.